time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Good puppy. Must be a Friday. Hey, don't you hate when people say stuff like that and then just have no context? Welcome to the show, the final show of the week. This is your show. Still, as far as we know, the only live show from 4 to 5 p.m. on YouTube. Welcome to it. My name is Gary. I am your host. I'm wearing my new Macho Man shirt. Shout out to the incredible Matt from All the Bands, along with his lovely wife, Erin, who who gave this to us on the show. And I'm so proud to be wearing it again today as we get set to roll into the weekend. And before we do anything else, our most important piece of business, the only reason why you are here, is the Maggie Cam. Let's check out what she's up. Look at that. Man, that's a good looking dog. The Maggie Cam for our best buddies over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer, Mike and Rochelle, along with their lovely dog, Leroy, who just so happens to be dating Margaret, along with their after-hours team of Kirsten, Shar, and Chris, all of them there to make your day so much better. The second you walk into Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer, your life becomes better. Anything your pets need, they got you covered. Thank you again to our friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Margaret, you're going to sneeze. That's what she does. She sits there and licks and licks and licks, and then she sneezes. That's a cute yawn, though. Very well done. Thank you for that. We got Phenom on the ones and twos today. Let's get a look at that. There it is. He's literally just a hand. I'm not joking. It's really weird. I don't know how it works. We don't ask questions. There's just a hand in there that operates everything, and we're okay with that. Before we get into our Friday hangout sesh with our good friends from a couple of amazing podcasts, we have to talk about a football game. A football game that not a lot of people, I don't think, knew was even going on last night, but the Riders were in action in Ottawa, and that can only mean one thing around here. We better call in a football expert. Another Rider game came and went last night. If you're like my parents or you probably didn't know. I was over at my parents' place today. Said, hey, you see the game? I said, they didn't even know it was on. We forgot to do a preview. Like, I'm not going to rant. We need to get the word out a little bit better, maybe. As we have our Rider insider, the great LB here. You know him from the viewing room. He's also the face that built the place. And he watched that game. And did you know about it? Like, was there
I know about it.
Was there a lack of, or is that just me and my parents being not good at picking up on social media?
I mean, it was a short week, so I don't think people were like.
That's what it was. We didn't have a Monday. So technically, it felt like
a
Wednesday.
It was a short week for the players.
The team, what, 4-day turnover?
They played on was it Sunday night that they played?
Something like that.
I think it was something like that. They played, and then it was a very short turnaround for them.
And do you think that played into the super boring, low-scoring game that we had to, I guess, 3.5 quarters? Yeah.
The first 3.5 quarters were about the most boring Rider game I have watched in a long time.
It was rough.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
I don't think that really played into it. I think it was a combination of two very sagging offenses.
Good choice of words.
And defenses that were not 100% on their game, but better than the offense by far. I mean,
man, what more does Roland Milligan have to do? Like, I'm not saying defensive player of the year. Give him the MVP, man, or MOP. Sorry,
MVP.
MVP. MVP.
Is it? I don't. Whatever it is.
Whatever their best player in the entire league is, that award, give it to Roland Milligan.
Oh, totally.
No, I'm not saying just for defense. The whole thing.
Well,
he's a game changer, man.
He is, that's for sure. He has 6 interceptions now.
Every time
leading
I watch
the league.
A game, he's doing something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's
He would have took over Bain as my favorite if Bain didn't have that touchdown at the end.
That's true.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Continue.
Anyway, so it was 3-3 going into the half.
Worst interviewer. I'm just so upset.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, halftime was boring.
Yeah, going into halftime, I was like, is this going to be a 0-0 game at half? Like, I was, just not into the game. Like, I didn't make any notes until about 2 minutes left, Because normally I'm sitting there making
knew I
notes, like
should've
I
took
gotta
this
remember
in.
these things. I gotta remember these things. And I was like, I realized with a minute 53 left in the game.
Yes.
Which was when the first touchdown was scored.
Literally.
A
Was
minute?
it 10-3? So there was 3 field goals and a ruse for Ottawa?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember
And
exactly.
2 blocked field goals.
Three. Or was it 2? Was it 2? I can't remember. It was either 2 or 3, but a lot.
A minute and a half left.
Actually, I have to say, special teams won us the game. Because if it wouldn't have been those
didn't
blocked. Well, we didn't win,
win.
but
Didn't
we
lose.
did win, but we didn't.
Yeah. We'll
because,
get to that.
You know.
Yes.
But
get there.
the special teams were what kept us in
Yeah.
the game, is what we'll say.
Huge.
Because if they hadn't blocked those 2 field goals, we would have lost.
Yeah. That's like by a bit, too. It wouldn't have been close. And then there they are, down by a touchdown, minute and a half to go. They score.
They score.
My man, Bane.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bane,
And wide open. That was a beautiful play.
right?
Beautiful play. Wide
That's-
open,
that's
just
what he
walking
does.
in.
He says, "You can't find me in the offensive line." Sneaking in and popping out, beautiful stuff. Love Bane Jr. Still my favorite.
Anyway, so then we, so we thought the game was over, because I can't even remember.
So here's what it was.
This
I
is
can
why
tell
I
you
need my
this-
notes.
And
I wrote this down.
I got your back here because
Sorry, we didn't think it
flipped
was
over
over.
to the football game. With a minute and a half to go. Saw the touchdowns. Like, okay, that's cool. Going to overtime. Like, okay, I'll just go check out something else real quick. Totally forgot the game went to overtime. Came back 25 minutes later. Game still in overtime. And not only that, the Riders had just won. Huge sack, fumble, pick up the ball. Riders win 22-19. Everything's happy and the fans are on the field. It's game over. And poor Rod Smith doing the announcing. I'm just going to stop saying this game is over because we do have a review, and it looks like it is officially roughing the passer, first down, Ottawa.
People were already in the dressing room.
The game was over.
It was so okay. So
Let's get the notes.
it was 0-0. The red black kicker Lewis Ward
Yeah.
kicks a field goal to tie it 13-13 with 0 seconds left.
Yeah.
So we go to overtime.
That's the one.
Ottawa gets the touchdown, and then forces an incompletion for us, and we're like, "Great, Riders lost.
It's over. Game over.
I turned the game off. I literally rage quit as soon as
Angry.
and then I turned it over to the Green Zone postgame show because I like listening to what all the other fans have
Shout
to
out
say.
to the Green Zone. Again, next to LB, the best Rider insiders in the biz. Let my man Eyeballs and Scotty B and the boys.
Anyway, so I turn it over to them, and it's not coming on. It's not coming on. I'm like, why? They're normally on. They're normally a lot quicker than this.
Were you thinking that maybe the op was messing up in
Yeah,
the studio? Yeah, that's what I
I'm
was
like.
thinking
What's
too.
going on here? And then I'm like, well, okay, I'm gonna flip back to the game, and they're still playing. I'm like, well, what the hell happened? So I learned after that Mace challenged it for PI,
Yes.
and he won. So
Good job, coach.
So we got a touchdown to MLS.
Here we go.
So that first
Ties
frame,
it
we
again.
missed the 2-point convert.
Yeah.
So did the Red Black. So first frame doesn't matter; it's off the table. So we go to the second frame. So we score the field goal, 22-19.
Here we go.
Sack the QB. We sacked the Red Blacks QB, and then the next play, I can't remember exactly what happened. And then we sacked the QB again.
Looking good.
Ball comes out. Auclair jumps on it. Yes, we won.
Fine.
We did it.
Celebration
we did it.
has
we did it.
begun. Yes.
I flip over to Green Zone postgame show again. And then eventually, Eyeballs comes on, and off the start, I swear, I thought he was making up. It was one of his, jokes, like that he
Funny,
does
yeah.
so well, right?
He's a very funny guy.
Riders with the tie. What? Excuse me? No, we won. And then by the
As a guy who used to do the fan zone, which was on during the game back when we had our 10 hours of game day coverage over on the Green Zone, Scotty V and I, our only job was to just stay on the air until the game is officially over. And once we are sure, then we can go to the post game because you don't have the rights and there's a bunch of legal stuff in there. So we would sit there and watch and we just kill time. Like there was moments where we'd be like, I think it might be, like we might throw to the guys, but never had I seen so many opportunities for a game to be over and have it not. So I'm feeling for the guys in the studio.
literally
man.
had
That's a tough
every
one.
single possible
Yeah,
outcome. We
that's it.
lost, then we won, and then we tied it. We literally had all three
So-
possible outcomes.
Do you feel as a fan, not just for the Riders, but if you were a Red Blacks fan as well, do you feel like it's pretty good to get away with the tie on this one after all those shenanigans? Because really, when you break it down, Ottawa should have won that game just in the regular time. And then, stuff goes down, they get in there, and then, oh my goodness, they got to kick field goal to go overtime.
I like, and this is where I don't like the command center. I've tried to stay away from this with my debriefs. Is the refs and the command center because it's a very difficult job, and they always get flack for it. So I try and stay away from it.
Good for you.
But I'm sorry, respect the refs. They're on the field, right? What is the point of having refs on the field, and what is the point of a coach's challenge and having limited challenges if after every play they're reviewing the ref's call? And so Corey Mace had to use one of his challenges to get that PI call and continue the game. Yeah. Bob Dice had no challenges left. So the command center just automatically reviewed it. So I don't think that's entirely fair, because that's part of the strategy of the game is using your challenges wisely. And so he didn't get penalized for not having any challenges left.
Now, is a sack fumble always reviewed by the command
anytime
center?
there's a turnover, there's a review.
So there was at least a reason
but
for it.
But the ruling on the field was
a sack.
It was a sack,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. It was roughing the passer that they called, not like an incompletion or something, or a fumble.
And even
like
that roughing the passer was thrown into him, right?
Well, yeah. Anybody who's watched or played any amount of football knows that he didn't rough the passer.
He had no intentions of roughing
No,
anything.
he got tripped up, and it was the same thing earlier in the game when Miles Brown, I think it was, he got tripped up going for the sack, and he hit. That was when Drew Brown got injured.
Yeah,
he basically rolled into him, but you can see as soon as he realizes where he's going, he's trying to get out of the way. Yeah. It's so obvious, and I just think that there needs to be some discretion. And we have that's the
word, discretion.
Discretion, right? Yeah. Because we had this discussion earlier in the season with that play where he lost his helmet.
Yeah,
and it was through no fault of his own. Yeah. And I'm like,
and it was bang bang.
Yeah.
Too. Like the helmet came off as he was gaining possession.
He already had the ball, and it wasn't like he ripped his helmet off or something. Yep. He had the possession, was already in motion. It's the same thing. Yeah. Like, there needs to be some, okay, he couldn't do anything about it. Being penalized for something that's not your fault is...
You need somebody with the ability to say, I understand this is the hard rule, but clearly this is outside of that. Mm-hmm. So we got to let it go.
And it's making... I think it's changing the game, because you already see it. Like, I feel like the number of sacks and QB runs has gone up, like especially QB runs. I feel like when I used to watch the games, it was rare to see a QB scramble, and now they're full of scrambling QBs, and it works because they're too afraid to hit, because they're too afraid of getting a penalty.
Dude, a normal CFL game back in the day, every quarterback in the league was throwing 300-400 yards per game.
Yeah,
like the CFL was known for pass because you only have 2 downs.
Yeah,
before you
so
got
to throw.
You got to throw.
And now they're just scrambling, and because they're too afraid to get in on the passer, because they're going to get a 15-yard penalty on it.
I think you might be onto something there. So we got a tie game. Go Ties!
We are technically on first in the West right now.
I was waiting for
because of that.
But that's the silver lining. First place in the West.
Yes.
Feeling good.
Yes.
Getting some rest now. I imagine since that quick turnover, you get a nice long
I actually just realized
turnover.
that I don't remember when their next game is.
This will be good.
Hold on 2 seconds.
This is why we call him the best, because he's just like you and I. But he's also an insider and a fan. So if I were to be doing this, I'd be doing the same thing. I didn't check it. But
Friday, August 16th, so that's a week today at 7 p.m.
Who we got?
It's the Alouettes. Rematch against the Alouettes.
Ooh.
So this is going to be a challenge.
And that could be a Fajardo-Harris game again, hey?
Correct. Fajardo will probably be back. I haven't looked up that yet,
I think
but
Harris
will be back.
Very interesting. There you go. He is our Rider Insider, the great LB. You know him for The Viewing Room, dropping every Tuesday. Very excited for the next one. Getting a lot of good feedback on your little show there, young man. It's going to blow up. You know him as a producer in here. He built the place, head engineer. He's everything around here, and we love him very much. Thank you, as always, my friend. Great job. You have yourself a great weekend, all right?
You too. See ya.
Next time we'll trade a shirt and we'll really play with the continuity of these previously recorded segments. Thank you again to the great LB for stopping by and making sense. Man, you know, I look at that. If anyone could have ever just predicted a tie in the CFL, just being able to be like, you know what? This is the day. This is the day that they're going to go to overtime on ridiculous circumstances. Last second field goal to get it there. Then they're going to score some touchdowns. And then they're going to miss. There's going to be fumbles. There's going to be all sorts of stuff, but it's going to be a tie. Man, I wish I could have did that. The amount of praise you would get. The amount of cheering you would receive if only someone could do that. Oh, hey, look who it is! From the Commander Cookout Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, it's Uncle Brando!
See, you all thought I was done here, but I was just on holidays. You haven't got rid of me yet.
We would never.
And you were saying,
happy you're
is
here.
it okay if I tell the story? Is that
I
if I tell
think
the story?
we don't have to use like, you do you, homie.
I was at the other place, as we call it around here, and I was
Hello to all of our friends at the other place. We love you.
my job there for the last 8 years was to do calls and contests and all sorts of stuff. And
Rider Progs. And it's fun because I'm one of the few people who have done them with you.
Yeah, and it's I gotta say, it's lots of fun.
So fun.
As
long as you're not getting yelled at for being too slow.
There is not a thing in the world that I could argue where strangers call in a good mood. Like just a stranger is just having a great time over and over again. Yeah. It has to make you excited.
That's
it has
a great
to put you in a
point.
good
You
mood.
don't get any of the trolls when you're doing Rider Progs.
Right? It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like it's so great. It's a great feeling. But anyways, so in the 8 years I've been doing it, we had one person ever call in and say, yeah, Rider Game's going to be a tie. And we made up the rule right then. Yeah, you can do it. Nah, bro, you're not going to win.
Yeah, it's probably the smartest bet.
No chance. And he didn't win. But then, last Thursday, we had a guy call in. Regular caller, know him well. He's a great guy, great human being. Really, shout out to Ian in Saskatoon.
Ian.
Love that guy. He calls and says, hey, can I pick a tie? And just because of what was happening, like there was a guest host on at the time, all this stuff, they didn't know that was a rule. So, you got to pick a winner, can't pick a tie. And so he picks a score that's a winner. Man. And like the next morning we show up and it's Jamie and I from the Green Zone going, it's a tie. And oh man, I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad because he's just kicking himself. It's like, bro, that would have been so cool. You could hold that over everybody forever.
It's known worldwide. The dumbest bet you can ever make is betting on a tie. Yep. It just doesn't happen. So to be in that situation, shout out to Ian. He's a champion in our books. That's no one's fault either. That's just that's the way the game goes, right?
And if I may say, I think that's also like a saying, go with your instinct. If your gut tells you something, you listen to it, right? Like,
absolutely.
How often do you wake up and think, man, this game's going to be a tie?
You know, I've had one of those moments in my life.
I'm going to go in public and say it's going to be a tie, right? Like, what?
You ready for this? This is almost as crazy. So back when Roy Halladay was pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays, he was on his way out, and the team was going into rebuild mode. So they sent old Doc to the Philadelphia Phillies. Doc Halladay is his nickname.
Yeah. Right.
And Roy Halladay, going to the playoffs for the first time, never made it to the playoffs with the Blue Jays. He went to the playoffs. His first start with the Philadelphia Phillies. I called the Wing King, my good buddy, the official wingman for this show. Anytime we have any wings, like any questions about wings, he's our go-to guy. He's the king of wings, hence the Wing King.
I love that.
I say, hey, Wing King, man, I don't know what it is, but I got a feeling. Today, in his first playoff game, Roy Halladay is going to throw a no-no. He told me to kick rocks and swore at me. He's like, you're crazy. Shut up.
Wow.
I was like, is there any way we could put a bet on that? He's like, no, it's dumb. No, I would never take it.
Of course you can put a bet on
I went on. This was back when you couldn't. This is back before every second commercial on TV was for betting.
Right.
So it was hard to make it, especially such a weird one like that. And I had gone on the radio and I also said, like, just so you know, Doc's throwing a no-no. It's happening. And I don't know what it was or what I felt or whether it was just I was such a huge fan and I wanted him to do it so badly. But he went out there and sure enough, he threw that no-no.
Oh, wow.
And I felt like the biggest schmuck because I couldn't make any sort of winnings off of this incredible call.
I can't imagine the money.
Yeah,
and that's not what it's all about. It's all about money in life. But I can't imagine, like, if you had a place to bet, like the odds on that would be so small. And
Yeah.
like you
High, very high odds.
like $20. Oh, I'm gonna throw down $20.
On
and
a
then
no-no?
and you walk into the boss's office the next day and cut his tie in half and quit. Oh baby, that's what I'd do. Right, like, Brando, you only bet $1. You only won
Yeah.
$60. Yeah, but I'm on a roll now, baby.
You just wait. I just learned how to gamble.
I'm bringing the smoke. I'm a professional sports gambler now.
Oh man, have you ever met anybody who actually went full on, quit their real life job and start sports gambling?
No, have you?
I've-
Please tell me you have.
I've had a couple of buddies who wanted to, and again, showing our age, just back when poker went huge.
Sure.
Back in the time when there were maybe one advertisement for betting and maybe 1,000 channels showing poker. It was the poker craze. Everyone was playing poker. Everyone was doing poker. One of our buddies decided, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm going to live in my parents' basement and I'm going to play poker for a living. I think he lasted almost a year, which is pretty good for
Good
a
on
guy
him.
quitting his life and doing that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And I had another guy who was, well, again, both awesome dudes too. Another guy that moved down to Vegas said, I'm going to be a sports betting guy in Vegas. I think he lasted about a year and a half too.
Eh.
Which leads us to our next point. Don't gamble. If you're going to gamble, do it like our friend Clayton Croker, who has his dad parlay of the week. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
He's got a fanny pack, and it's the dad parlay of the week. He pulls out of this fanny pack, and it's like 4-0 right now with our
wow.
good friends over at playnow.com. And he's the same way I am. Budget gambling.
Yeah,
We're the poorest human beings alive. So we make a $2 bet here, a $4 bet there, once every couple of days. And in order for you to win any money doing that, you got to bet big. So we get those odds way, way up, like 150 to 1, 175 to 1. Like, you're talking 6 players going 2 for 4 in a baseball game. Like, all these crazy, crazy bets that most nights won't hit. But then once every couple months, you hit one and you win like $500. And you're only down about, say, 100 over that amount of time. So it's really fun if you do it right.
And
That's
if you're
the point.
if you're enjoying yourself, then I mean, if you can
it's
bet
like paying to go to a movie.
$20 in a baseball game, and you watch the game and you enjoy it, and the betting the $20 has added in, like
Oh, for
$20
sure.
worth of enjoyment to the game. Like, you're not really out anything if you look at it I'm just totally talking people into sports betting
Well,
right now.
the biggest problem we're seeing right now, and I think this is the takeaway from all this, is gambling's like the dumbest, most stupidest thing you possibly do, especially big amounts. And when you watch any sporting event, not even sporting events, you watch anything on TV, you're getting bombarded with free $100 for signing up here, free $50 for the slots here, and it's just boom, boom, boom. And it's so easy for someone to be like, okay, I'll just start right here, and then check in on them a month or two later, and all of a sudden, yeah, they're not going to work.
I'm a
and
pro
they have
slots player now.
Yeah, like it's so dangerous, that slope. So you have to be very, very aware. And trust me, from a guy who loses all the time, it's just not worth that excitement.
So I too am a losing gambler, but
Nice, but you don't gamble much.
I do not, only when I open Magic the Gathering packages,
that
which
so
which
much.
I know we're not allowed to say
God,
it's
can we
gambling,
talk?
but it is.
Can we talk about the BBO and the YTC?
Which one?
The
Oh, what, I made a puppet frog version of myself. and
I'm pretty sure I reposted it on
And
whatever
learned
the
how to
social
puppet.
thing is that I
It's-
have. It was the funniest.
I had a lot of fun. I've actually had some really good feedback. So if anybody who's
Come
seen it
on.
is watching, thank you very much for all the great feedback I've had from that. I'm really proud of it.
Just the growth. I feel like I joined on the ride at just the right time, because up until about basically the cowboy hat. The cowboy hat was like the next sort of phase of growth for the Brando box openings.
Yeah, I got costumes.
Yeah.
Then I got sets.
And like the weapons were already there, and that was
Props.
the one thing that drew me in, the different types of weapons you would use to open these boxes. But then once you started going full in, like the whole, you have to check them out is the point. Just check out these amazing little videos.
Thank you for that.
Sorry,
very
back
much.
to your
Thank you.
gambling.
So
obviously.
gambling stories. The very first time I ever went to Vegas, I was of drinking age, but like I wasn't of like afford to drinking age. So what I did was when I was out kind of touring around looking at the sites during the day, I'd make notes of all of the casinos that had like sign up for our players club. We'll give you $50 to gamble with.
Yeah.
And what I'd do is every night I'd go back to one of those casinos, take the 10 minutes or whatever it was to sign up for the players club, get my $50, go sit at the free slots where they bring you drinks for free, and I just get like tipsy a little bit, right? I'd have a couple of drinks very responsibly without paying any money. Then you go out and you get it. You pay the $10 to get into the bar, and you buy your $40 shot after that.
Yeah.
But you're already like in the mood to be partying. It was a great. I don't know if you can do that anymore.
They don't that you. We
but
had
boy, howdy did
dude,
man.
We had a system. I was down there. It was 1 year, whatever that year was, doesn't really matter. We would go and find the slot machine that was closest to the door where the drinks ladies were coming out.
Oh, smart.
So we'd sit right there, play the penny slots, and free drinks for 2-3 hours, doubles, triples, lay them on us. 1 year later, we come back and try to do the same thing. Like, it's the best. Like, we saved so much money doing that. The next year, same places we went to. Sorry, sir, only one drink per machine, per like a time limit. It was like, you have to finish this first one, and like a certain amount of time has to pass before we can give you another complimentary drink.
Ooh.
So we got on that system right when they shut it down, and it was so depressing because that, like, if you got that machine, like if you're playing the Monopoly machine right next to where the drinks are coming out, like you don't stop, and they know what you're doing, and they're like, oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, they get you. They
give them a
respect
$5 tip there, $10 tip there, keep them flowing.
They respect the hustle.
Yeah, but yeah, Vegas ruined that.
Yeah, of course they did. I could talk for hours about how the Las Vegas is so much fun, and I love going there, but the thinnest veneer of just money, right? Like at least at Disneyland, there's people in suits, whereas in Vegas, it's just like, give it to us, all of it. So, but it's a thing. So, speaking of entertainment dollars,
Yes.
can I tell you just the circumstances of just pain?
Yes,
I wasn't here last Friday.
you
Because-
were dearly missed, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I was on holiday. I went to Edmonton,
Holiday.
and we just went to like do some stuff, right? We're going to see some sights. We're going to do some shopping just to get out of town for a little while.
Perfect.
And while we're there, we're walking down, like, for example, in this case, White Ave, right? It's their, like,
Okay.
the bar street. And we see a poster. NoFX is coming to town.
Oh,
Holy
don't get me started.
Holy shit.
I just had this whole conversation with my squad.
Last minute tickets, we're buying them. We're buying them right now. Next weekend. Damn it. We're here this weekend. I can't come back next weekend. So we go, like, I shit you not, Gary, 1 block up the street. Another small-time punk band. Didn't even know they were still a band. And they're playing. And you know when they're playing? The day after NoFX. Next weekend. I'm like, oh,
Who's
what
the
is-
band? Who's the
What
band?
are the odds? They're called Furthermore.
Furthermore.
Like them lots.
Nice.
Shout out to them. So I'm a little dejected, but still, it's kind of funny.
Okay.
So we go to an Irish pub, because I love Irish pubs.
Of
And we
course.
sit down, and we get there's like the feature menu that they give you.
Yes.
Baby goat petting zoo
That's one of your favorite places on earth.
in the bar.
That's your people.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
Gary.
Honey, take all of my things. I'm going to play with the goats.
Next weekend. God damn it.
I've been battling
Damn it.
the NoFX show. It's their farewell tour show. I know all about this. I've been trying to get our 4-man squad. We got Seabass, we got Sperman, we got our man Uncle Mike, and we got me. Last year we made the excursion. We bought the tickets the night before, drove out, went for the show, came back the next day. One night only.
Hell yeah.
This weekend, Saturday, they're doing a full set.
Yeah.
Sunday, they're doing a full set. None of the songs are carrying over. 2 totally different
Oh my
shows.
God.
On the
Gary, why are you
Saturday, there was a couple of bands, including the Circle Jerks, who were going to be here on Monday.
Yep.
And Uncle Mike's already talking about maybe just going to that one. And I'm like, I don't know too many Circle Jerk songs, but either way, that's a weird sentence to just be saying if it wasn't in the musical tone.
Right.
And so the Sunday show, I'm like, okay, if we don't make it out for both shows, because like we're working, we do CCO on Saturday. I got to go do some stuff with my uncle. We're recording. We got the Abyss and Von Trask coming in Saturday night. We're operating the Death Star. We're going full on Pro Tools, laying down
Kick ass.
actual tracks
Hell
from
yeah.
this recording studio. Very excited for that. So all that's going on Saturday. So I'm like, wait, maybe we go Sunday morning. Maybe we get up, get real early, drive out, go see Face to Face, man. The Descendants Face to Face and NoFX
Oh,
on the Sunday night. And then we'd end up getting back Monday right before the show. That was the new plan. That one just got skunked out as Johnny Sperman has a broken collarbone and he can't go. And Seabass is out in Fort St. John, so it's tough for him to get there. So the dream sort of died.
yeah.
So you bringing that up again, I thought I was over it, but clearly
I'm
I was not.
Because I feel like I respect NoFX enough as a band when they say it's the farewell tour.
Yeah.
This is probably the last chance we're gonna get to see them.
Yeah.
And just knowing that they're playing tomorrow morning, not tomorrow night, but like tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's a tough one.
Like,
It's a really
play,
tough one.
Are they gonna play Linoleum? It's my favorite NoFX
Of course they will.
because it's my
Supports
favorite.
my head, gives me something to believe. That's me on the beachside, combing the sand, metal meter in my hand, sporting a pocket full of shit. That's the live version. Changes.
Yeah,
the
Change is the.
Yeah, Punk and
the
Drublic
official.
was my favorite NoFX album of all time until
Hell yeah.
So Long Thanks for All the Shoes took over for a bit, and now they're like sort of mixed together. Linoleum, the first track off of Punk and Drublic. As we continue on a Friday afternoon, we're halfway there. Did I ever tell you how much I hate that song, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi?
Yes.
How sports just ruined it. So
Yes,
we're
you
not
have.
going to quote it.
Yes.
Halfway through the Friday edition, that means that our final guest has arrived. As Uncle Brando is hanging out from the CCO Podcast Network. Ryan's over there. Totally
He's
not
also
drinking any
technically
sort of beverage with alcohol in it. Shout it out. What is it? What are we drinking?
Quark.
By Pile of Bones and Nokomis.
Ooh, shout out to the business
Yeah,
daddies.
shout out to the business daddies, Pile of Bones, and Nokomis for Quark.
What are they? The second coolest thing to come out of Regina?
Correct.
Okay,
The
interesting.
coolest thing out of Nokomis.
There it is, clearly.
Well, yeah. What else comes out of Nokomis?
Actually, a lot. Nokomis is awesome.
Yeah,
Ladies
beer.
and gentlemen, from the Past Star Bedtime Podcast, it's Hardcore!
Hello.
Yeah, look at
Hello.
nose.
Hello.
Dude, have you ever been in Nokomis?
No.
It's awesome. That's my point. Just want to get that out there.
I never have either.
Yeah.
What
How
is-
you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We were missing you.
I haven't
was like,
seen you in
think
like
she's
18
coming.
months.
This guy's been missing you big time.
Okay, where were you?
I was in Edmonton. I was
Well,
just
yeah, you
telling the
missed him,
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the conservatory and the zoo.
And then he got let down by all of his favorite bands.
Like
and animals.
everything
and
cool
animals.
was happening. Oh man, there was petting zoos and so many things. And it's not even the end of it. We went to the antique mall, which I just freaking love. I like to like vintage shop and like
Yeah.
find like old phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do a show on like the coolest thing you found at those.
They have their like once a year 100 extra vendors super duper sale
Yeah.
that's happening. When is it happening, Gary? Next
Next
weekend. Damn it.
I've been there. It's cool there.
It's amazing.
Just
I've
the
been-
building is old and cool.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the coolest place. And
Makes me very happy.
You know what I found? I'm packing because I'm moving next week.
oh,
And
damn.
I
yeah, we
found-
actually heard about that. Brooks, you told us yesterday that you guys have to take a week break off of your show past our
2
bedtime.
weeks, I
2 weeks,
think,
yeah.
we're taking.
Whatever the break is, I was
Yeah.
upset because I was supposed to be in there.
I know.
Anyways,
yeah.
Congratulations on the moving.
Thanks.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, we signed all the papers with the lawyer today, so
That's
good stuff.
amazing.
Yep. But I found my Masters of the Universe. I have a comic, the first volume
Be careful. Be careful. You're going to explode this.
I'm
of like
ready.
December of 1982. I should show you a picture of it. It
Oh.
was 75 cents.
Hold on. What condition was
I don't
this
know
in?
if my
Well,
body is
it's,
ready for
it's
this.
I mean, it has a bend in, like a slight bend in the.
Bends are
Hey,
better.
Bens are good.
Yeah,
But
bends
it's-
are better than
other than
tears. Bends are better than tears.
That's a good
Ooh.
collector saying right there.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
stains. Or
This one.
Here we go. Let's get a look at it. Yeah.
You have one of these,
I have it.
At your house.
Right.
For 75 cents.
and you paid 75
I
cents.
found it at like a vintage store in Moose Jaw when I was 17.
What is the how much is this, like one of your like
Oh,
life
wow.
investments? Like, is this one of your piggy bank things?
I don't know. Like,
It looks like it's going to be worth thousands of dollars. Is
it
it worth?
looks like it, but it's not. I don't think it is.
I don't think they're worth tons and tons, but it's such a. This is one of those collector's items. It's an actual collector's item where it's not an investment. It's something that you look at and think, man, this is the coolest thing that I own.
If only we had an investor specialist who knows how all these things work and know prices on things like these.
Oh,
If we could find someone and bring them in, that would be amazing. From one of those stores where you buy comics or something. Sorry, I thought you got way more excited for my baked-in promo. In there.
He doesn't
Yeah,
know what
he's-
it
yeah,
is,
he has
though.
no clue.
He doesn't.
He's in work zone again. Don't.
Especially if you have an advertising budget.
Yeah, if you have an advertising budget and you want to advertise amazing shit like this, Dufferin Ave.
Let's get it.
Dot
Let's get it.
com.
Let's
You
get
come
it.
down
Come
here
on
and you
now.
can check it out because
Come on. Yeah.
yeah, there it is. The more interesting stuff that you have, the more things I would love to just look at them. Like knowing that I know somebody that has that is so cool.
It is
'Cause
pretty cool.
I haven't seen one. I've seen them in my life.
I was looking
Right.
for it. I couldn't find it.
Join
Like
the
I've been
team.
looking
Let's put
for
it
it
this
for
way.
like a couple of years now, but we have boxes in storage, and I was going through it and throwing out stuff that I didn't want to take to the new home. But it was stuck in all my like old Metallica stuff. I used to
No.
like walk to the store. I used to get like an allowance when I was like 12, and I would save it up, and I'd walk to Max, and I'd get like the newest like guitar magazine, and I would like cut out anything Metallica anyway, and then I'd tape it and whatever. But it was in that, and so no wonder I couldn't find it because I hadn't looked at that for a
Why
really
would
long
He-Man
time.
be in with Metallica?
Yeah, so it was cool.
Does that mean like was this like you just love the band, or did you have like a thing for the?
Clearly, she
For
loved
Lars,
the
or
band,
like
bro.
I had a thing for Kirk, but
There's a
Kirk
thing.
Hammett.
That's
yeah. I don't know. Most people had like boy bands that they like listened
At least
to
it
and like
wasn't
had
Lars,
posters.
man.
Yeah.
Lars, man, Kirk, play the song better. That's my Lars impression.
It's good.
Thank you. Do you know he's
Is
a
it South Park?
professional tennis player?
No, his dad. Well, his dad is.
Yeah,
and
well, his
so
dad was, but he was supposed to be. He's like,
Yeah.
screw you, Dad. I'm going to go play for one of the greatest metal bands of all time.
Yeah, it was James Hetfield's birthday like last week.
Oh, happy birthday, James.
Happy birthday, James. We know
Yeah.
you watch the show. We love you, buddy.
Yep.
Friend of the show, James Hetfield.
Absolutely.
Right? Is that what
That's
he
it.
says?
Yeah, that's it. You nailed it.
That's the one.
Oh, this is great.
What?
I love Fridays. Thanks for
let-
coming by, guys. This
Yeah.
Let
makes
me
me feel
hit
good.
you. You guys, I'll admit, I feel like you guys are more connected to the music space than I am at times. So let me ask this question. And I don't want anybody to kill me over this. I expect no violence to be perpetrated against me when I ask this question.
Oh, don't tell Tommy Dreamer.
Is, like, when you really think about it, apart from playing their own instruments, what's the difference between Metallica and a boy band? It's
Nothing.
Four
Metallica
boys.
is a boy band.
They're four boys in a band. Like, why is it like if one of those bands showed up in a crowd of the other's fans, one of them would get beat up and one of them would not. And I'm curious why that's a thing.
I mean, technically they are a boy band. They just play different music.
See? Like, why is
And
is
they were my boy band. I had every poster possible, like covered on all my walls.
the fandom is the same.
Yeah.
Like, people who love NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or New Kids on the Block or whatever the kids are listening to nowadays, right? Like, they got the posters and they've got the CDs and the shirts and the pants and all the merch and stuff. Same thing with Metallica, where we obviously have respectable human beings that had all the stuff. So, like, what's the difference? Why is there such a divide?
The music, bro.
It's just music.
Besides
Music is meant to
music.
bring us together. Am I right?
But when you're playing music, like, you're not going to dance along to all the choreography of Kill 'Em All. Like,
Well, I
you're
mean,
not going to go out there and,
what kind of
do
day are
some
we
moves
having
to,
in
like
this?
battery. Like, there's
No, but you will
the
like
songs
headbang.
alone.
Isn't that?
Well,
There's moves.
There's moves.
There's the circle.
point being,
There's the
Air
windmill.
guitar.
we all know exactly why. Metallica used to be hard as F, man.
did.
Metallica used to go then, and not saying this is wrong in any way. Then they made money. They said, all right, we already destroyed music, like crushed music as a whole. Let's go make some money. And then they gained even more fans. And the fans that loved them before allowed them to go do something a little bit less hard.
Sure.
Because they earned that right. So when you do that, that's how that sort of creeps in, right? Your fans that aren't the hardcore fans. And then you get tiers of fandom. So maybe on the top end of that, you might have your Backstreet Boy fans mixing in with your Metallica.
Sure.
But down here, when you're back there in 83, when you're in Boston to Cliff Burton, dude, yeah, you're not going to do anything with Backstreet Boys.
That's fair, but I want
I
to.
nailed it. Fair. That was like the greatest answer I've ever given
That
on
was
this show.
That was really good.
I
That was
actually
really
thought
good.
about that.
Can I? Does it make me a non-Metallica fan? My very favorite Metallica album is Kill 'Em All. My favorite one.
Good, yeah.
But like my second favorite one, Load.
I feel you on that.
Am I bad? Like,
I-
am I a bad Metallica
No,
fan?
there's no such thing as a bad Metallica fan. That's the whole point. If you like Metallica, you like all of it.
So my son's just getting into Metallica because
attaboy.
of Fortnite. It's on Fortnite, and so he's like,
When did that happen?
a couple months ago, and
We gotta play us
so
some Fortnite.
Man, I don't have my PS4
So
still. LB's
you
trying
can
to-
get their
been trying to fix
skins
it for
and
weeks.
stuff. But anyway, so he wants to listen to Metallica all the time, but he only wants to listen to Enter Sandman. And I'm like, okay, there's better songs than Enter Sandman. So I've been making him listen to like everything.
I will say this. Enter Sandman is a song that is so good. It is so beloved around the world that every single rock station can play them 4 to 5 times a day, that very song on the network, and no one will get mad. Besides the usual people say, you play the same stuff all the time, which they have no idea what they're talking about. There's a reason that song is played so much. There's a reason why people feel like they've been bombarded with it, is because it is the most beloved song on earth.
It sure isn't because people are changing the channel when it comes on,
Thank you.
right?
So I get it. For you and I, we've heard it. Once you
Yeah.
hear it about 3,000-4,000 times, it gets a
Yeah.
little hard.
Yeah.
But point being, it's such a perfect song that to this day, you're still hearing it 3 to 4 times a day on radio stations.
Yeah.
And you're going to be hearing it at least 1 to 2 times.
It's a
on radio
monster. It's
for
a monster.
decades. 'Cause it's so good.
When they talk about tiers of songs on stations, and you might know this a little bit. I know you're an AM guy, but you know the FM stuff.
I've done it.
There's like tier 1, tier 2, this, that, and like you go down the list. And then there's like, basically there's like a big 4, and Enter Sandman will be a big 4 on probably 2/3 of all, like Enter Sandman is a song that you can hear on like a C95 or on like a non-rock station because it transcends. And there's only a few like that. So that's why you get it from everyone. That's why everyone loves it. Like just right off the bat, just that little rep. That's all you need. And people are like, ah, whoa.
And then you get some like dude in pajama pants and a wife beater walking down to the ring, and he's smoking, he's smashing
God.
beer cans on his head.
It's like, is he talking about me?
No, I'm talking about Sandman, the wrestler,
Yeah,
who I'm
he's the
sure
best. No, I
he
know.
named himself the
Do you know-
Sandman just so he could have that
Do
entrance.
you know he was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time for a while? And
You're shitting me.
I'd never seen him wrestle. All I've seen was his intro walking out with
His
his
ma-
no stick and a cigarette and a beer.
And there's been so much commentary on him because of that, and it's all true. That guy was 100% presentation,
Yep.
and then a willingness to have his wife pile driven off the apron onto the floor.
Happened.
That's
a
what-
true story.
That's who the Sandman was, and it was all presentation. It was all sizzle and no steak, and that's fine because I was the same way. I loved watching him because I wanted to see him start on the balcony. And he drinks a whole 6-pack of beer on the way to the
Before he
ring.
gets to the
A
ring,
whole, like, not all over himself, but like actually
Like,
drinks
act-
it.
oh, no, he drank it.
He chugs. He doesn't stone cold him. He goes one at a time.
Yeah.
Because he has a cigarette in his other hand. So he smokes a cigarette with a kendo stick like this. And then he chugs a beer, smashes it on his head, throws it down, gets another one.
Yeah,
How long does it take? The whole song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll do the whole song on the way to the ring.
Because
And
everyone loves the song.
and everybody's going nuts the whole time. They're singing along. They're like
I
reaching
can't-
up. He'll pour beer into people's mouths out of a beer that he's already drank some of. Like it was insane.
How much trouble do you think he got in for that, copyright-wise? Because it lasted a long time.
With Lars, too, because
No,
he's
yeah,
like...
we all know how Napster went.
I think they were too. I think that ECW on television was too small to like
That's what I'm
actually
thinking. They didn't
attract
get
and notice.
noticed.
It was at a time and of a level where it was just big enough where people
Yeah.
who knew,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody else knew. Right?
Totally, yeah.
But if they went
100%.
mainstream, they would have been brutalized immediately
Yeah.
and went out of business anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that didn't happen because it gave us the thing.
But
And when they did the
the-
one night stand years later in like 2002,
Yeah.
and for one night only, they licensed the song and did the entrance like on full on.
Is that Hammerstein Ballroom?
Yep.
Yeah, so sick.
International pay-per-view, right? Millions of people watching around the world, full on thing. And they did the full entrance. It was so surreal to see. It was so cool.
Was that the night when all the people were saying, if Cena wins, we riot?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
that was the next one. That was the next one.
Cena
Where it was
versus
RVD and Cena.
Yeah. John Cena, Mr. WWE, going on ECW TV was like the coolest thing they could have ever done. Like that guy could not have been more hated in any other building on planet Earth than he was that night.
There are very few celebrities that have that kind of hate going for them
Yeah.
than that man in that building on that night.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about ECW was you got to bring your own weapons in. So you'd bring all your weapons and then they just throw them into the ring. So there was one match where all they did was throw every chair from the crowd into the ring on top of the wrestler.
Buddy went, give me a chair. And then one guy threw a chair. And then the two guys next to him threw a chair. Then everybody behind them threw the chair. You can find it on YouTube. It's crazy.
My
And-
dad loves to say, I used everything except the kitchen sink. That's one of his big sayings.
Sure.
There was a kitchen sink used in one of those ECW matches. It's a
I-
true story.
I remember once I went to a Bring Your Own Weapons match when I was in high school.
That's so cool.
And somebody brought a Panasonic 3DO. Do you remember those? Do you remember the
No, what is
I
Panasonic?
it?
used
What
to
is
rent
that?
it from Family Video in Churchill.
It was an old video game system that's about this big.
and it
like,
had no games.
Like picture like an old VCR,
giant
like
Yep.
giant one that had the controller connected to it with those spiral like telephone cables.
Yeah.
It was like that. And somebody just like hucked it into the ring and it weighs 8,000 pounds and it's basically a cinder block with a disc drive in it.
It's amazing.
And they tried so hard to break it on this poor asshole, and it just wouldn't break. Like eventually they had it so that the disc tray, like
Break
the
off?
lid, like was dangling by a spring, but that thing would not break. It was
They-
the second toughest thing in that match.
They
It
don't
was
make things like
amazing.
they used to.
It's a
They
great
do not.
commercial for Panasonic 3DO, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I did. Buy one today. Woo!
That's it. Hey, check out this professionalism. Hanging out here, a couple minutes to go on your show, the Friday edition. We got Uncle Brando from the CCO podcast, as well as Hardcora from the Past Our Bedtime podcast. This is our Friday crew, and that is called a reset, ladies and gentlemen. Nailed it.
Reset? Oh, I understand. Yes. I know what that is. Does Cora know what that is? When are you guys going to do more Pastor Bedtimes, by the way?
Great question.
I am a fan. I have been watching. I'm caught up. I want more. And
You're all caught up?
Yes, I'm
I
all
mean, they're
caught
pretty
up.
short. So.
And there's like 8 episodes.
Yeah. Thanks.
I want more.
Yeah, so do I. We're,
Wendy,
it's both of us. We're both busy.
Cora.
Yeah, should I even be here today? I have nothing to
Yes.
advertise. I have nothing to promote.
What do you?
You're
well,
a Friday regular, dude. That's on your contract.
well, she
Yeah.
didn't alchemist us any tea.
That is
well,
true. What
I
happened
made
with
food
the tea?
this time.
But there's food. Oh, thank you very much for the peach cobbler also. She made us a peach cobbler
Yeah.
last time I was here. It was delightful. I really
It was
enjoyed
my second favorite cobbler next to my good buddy cousin Jeffrey Wickstrom over at Broadway Shoe Repair.
It
Hell
was
of a
the-
cobbler.
Thank you.
It
He's
was
a
the
great
first
cobbler.
cobbler I'd ever eaten in my entire life.
Oh,
good.
That
so
was
it's
my-
the best one.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't eat vegetables.
Not even
or
close,
fruits.
even. Like it's the. I will never probably eat another peach
It was
cobbler.
a, it was a
again.
winner by default. That's what he's saying.
No, I'm saying it was the greatest
if there
of all
was
time.
if there was no fruit in it, then you would have crushed it.
I have never experienced a peach cobbler like that before.
So
ever.
did you actually like it though?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes,
She was
I-
trying
I-
to say it wasn't as peachy as it should have been. or
Yeah,
something.
I
I
ate
should
the
add
whole
more
thing.
Great, too.
peaches. There was too much cobbler for the peach
Oh, see,
ratio.
and that's the thing that was cool with like, because I didn't know any better,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, oh, this is good. I like this lot.
Well, I have a dip today. It's my girls' weekend tomorrow, and they requested this dip because I made it last time. It's a jalapeno dip, but I put vegetables from the garden in here and actual peppers from the garden in here.
Vegetables.
And it should be pretty spicy. So
I'm very excited.
I did ask you what your spice
Yeah,
level was,
I
and you're just
told you,
like,
bring
hell
it.
yeah, bring me dip.
Bring it.
You didn't even tell me.
Who's gonna like? Man, you make it the way it's supposed to be made. Don't cater to us. You
Yeah.
give us what you make.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you give the dip, then
You have
obviously
to
we'll
heat it
find-
up though, so you
Okay,
have to
so
do
that's
some
a
work.
post-show dip party.
Is there?
I can
Did
do
you?
that.
Or do we have chips?
Yeah, I brought crackers.
Dude, do you think she's gonna show up here with no chips for this
I
amazing
just
dip
didn't
that
know
she
if I
created?
could put it on TV because it's like a name brand.
It's.
Yeah, we should probably keep it. Network around. Can we put chips on the screen?
I will crucify anybody who chews into a microphone.
We're not talking about eating on
Yeah,
microphone.
we're not going to eat. We're just going to show them. Let's
Dang,
let's just say the box. The name on the box rhymes with shits. Let's just say that.
Schlitz Gay, the beer
Yeah.
from the commercial with.
Way worse than putting it on the screen.
Anyways, we'll try those there. Thank you very much for that, Hardcore.
Yep.
So, what are you guys leaving? Are you leaving right after? What's your plan for this
Oh,
little
I
girls' weekend?
have family in town tonight, so I'll hang out with family. But me and Jessica, our other friend, Jessalina, her name will be tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Because the whole event is Dominican themed because Jessica was pregnant and couldn't come to the Dominican.
Did you bring the Dominican to Jessica?
So the picture of Jessica?
No, I'm
I'm
just
so
saying like she
excited.
didn't get to go to the Dominican with you guys, so you brought the Dominican to her.
Yeah. So like the itinerary, we get an itinerary every year.
course.
And so we get wristbands and there's like activities in the pool and we get to go to like the a la carte.
There's a pool?
Well, I'm assuming. So my friend, she's like an event planner. We went to college together.
Clearly. Yeah, we talked about that.
And so I think she's like set up little stations all over her farm that we get to go to. But
Just like a resort.
yeah. And so it's super fun because she brought in little concepts of the Dominican into the itinerary. And one of them was when we were in the Dominican, I'd be like, give me your finest glass of gasoline because their wine tastes like gasoline. And so on the
Makes sense.
itinerary, it
Checks
says
out.
like a la carte or whatever with your glass of gasolina. So it's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to this.
Sounded like a fun time.
Yeah, I had to go through boxes today to find my like Dominican clothes.
Well, how long ago was this
Oh yeah, I
Dominican
guess
trip?
you're moving. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
Oh, okay, that's,
Yeah.
that's super long.
And everything's packed. Like I'm 95%
When's
packed.
the move done? Like when does it happen?
We get possession next Wednesday, and then the movers come on next Friday. So next Friday, I will have to ditch and come here.
Yeah, I was about to say this all sounds fake. You should totally not move your stuff and come here. You have other people to do that.
Yeah, no, I'll make it here next Friday still.
We are. I think we have all reached a point, and I think we should all be at the point where we just hire movers. Is that fair? Can I say that? I hate
I mean,
moving.
can
more
you
than
afford it though?
anything.
Some people can't afford it. It's expensive.
I don't know. Like, oh, the feeling of having some. And I didn't hire movers last time I moved. I must admit. I actually hurt myself fairly seriously packing my stuff. 'Cause
Packing, not even moving.
I did the packing all by myself. Like I packed my whole house all by myself.
That doesn't seem very fair, does it? I
And
wonder
then-
why that would happen. Boy, oh boy, I
Yeah,
would.
it's a strange situation that we're in.
Push it down.
And then when the buddies came to help me, they're like, "Brando, why are you limping like that?" And I was like, it's fine." Like I banged myself up. I was like, "Brando, just go up into your apartment. We're gonna move everything for you."
Yeah.
And so Ryan, Network Ryan, to his credit, and a bunch of my other homies, like did all the moving for me. And I'm up in my apartment, like pointing, "Put this box here, put that box there," and it was the most amazing feeling. And I
So
think
you
if-
didn't hire movers. They just kind of felt bad for you.
yeah,
and then
they
did,
pitied me.
Okay, how'd you
Yeah.
pay them? In beer,
Beer,
or
yes.
pizza? Yeah.
No, I had a whole fridge that was full of beer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're gonna sit here until it's all gone, and then we did.
Yeah, we're paying actual professionals to move.
Oh,
And this
hell
will be
yeah.
my first time ever.
Paying movers?
Yeah.
Of course, and I'm telling you, you're gonna like it. Enjoy it.
I'm going to love it.
Take it. Like, sit back on your couch once somebody else has carried it into your house.
Yeah.
And just sit on it for a while. Just watch them work. It's awesome because that's what they're there for. They're usually good humored about it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And I've moved with movers a couple of times for other people. It's a great time. I like them, man.
I feel like every person who decides to go that route and gets someone to move for them has to at least once move on their own, just so they can understand how awesome
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
You won't appreciate it unless you try it yourself first.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's
but
my little 2 cents there.
in my head, I feel like most people have probably moved themselves, right?
I've moved up millions of times.
Yeah, like I've packed lots. I've lugged
Yeah.
furniture. I've ditched stuff because it was too heavy. I've done all that.
I'm the
stuff,
person
right?
that people call to move because I feel I look forward to helping people move because it's like a workout. So people usually call me to move. So yeah.
I guess you don't have to get a membership at any gyms, hey? Just help your buddies out.
Well, all my friends are pretty stable, so they're not moving. So
Oh,
I
I
don't
see.
have to
So
do
you
that
feel
anymore.
safe saying
Yeah.
that, is what you're saying. I get it.
Ah, very
Yeah.
smart. Very, very smart.
It's like your closest friend. I'm never moving again. Oh, that's too bad. I was totally ready to help you move again if we
Horrible
needed
timing
to.
on that. Jeez, I was just thinking about how excited I am to help you move.
How amped? I actually had a friend that moved while I was in Edmonton last weekend,
Nice.
and I was thinking to myself the whole time, I was
Aw,
like, man,
sorry.
I kind of wish that I wasn't out of town because like I knew something was going to go wrong. I knew it because something always goes wrong, and then it did, and I wasn't there to help out, and it turned into this whole thing where it's like now they got to pay money for like a hotel room because their car's full of stuff, and I have a truck, and I could have helped them out, and like they could have just slept on my couch, and it was this whole thing. But instead, I was in Edmonton having a great time, and while they were just having the
With-
worst
with the
weekend of their
goats.
lives.
That's the way it goes.
No,
Not
there
with
were
the
no goats.
Don't-
Oh.
that's
They
a
are
s-
they are
easy-
tomorrow.
Easy, Tiger. It's a tough subject still. Let's not fight
They're
'em up.
tomorrow night on the patio.
Listening.
Right
at
before the No Effects show first night.
Okay.
O'Byrne's on White if you want to go pet baby goats on a bar patio. Man, that's all I want now.
Okay.
Or
And
you
the
can
fact
go,
that we
you can
don't
go to the
have it here makes me
exhibition. They're at
upset.
the exhibition.
Are
But
they
it's a shit
babies?
show there. You don't want to go there.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
hey, we don't comment on nothing.
Nah, the
We
X.
love everything and everyone at all
The X
times.
is a great time. It's a great place to go and like be entertained. There's lights, there's fireworks, there's bands, there's dogs, there's people, and there's questionable but great food.
Can we
Correct.
talk about the 11 p.m. fireworks real quick? Is anyone a fan of that anymore? As a kid, I was, but then as I've gotten older and I've seen the effects on all of our poor puppies go through, all of our animals, and these things are going on. Every night at 11 o'clock, this dog's like, what's happening? What is this?
I always make sure the two dogs that I had that were close enough to the X to be affected by fireworks, we actually used to take them to the fireworks festivals as soon as we got them.
Just so they get used to it.
And we chill and like they're puppies at the time, right? So everybody's happy to see them. Everybody's petting them.
That's
Oh,
smart.
you're so
That's very
cute.
smart.
And the world, like the whole sky's blowing up around them, and they don't care. After a certain point, right? They were like, oh, this isn't so bad. People are petting me, and this is great. And so my dogs were never. So I really liked the 11 o'clock fireworks. I was always done my stuff, and every night I got on the roof of my
Yeah,
house.
it's right there. You're like
because I
3
lived up the
houses down.
street.
Yeah.
And I could actually watch the fireworks
I guess
from the roof of my garage. It was awesome.
The more appropriate question would be, is it worth the fireworks. 'Cause when I watch fireworks now, it's like, yeah, there's fireworks. You know, they don't blow my mind like they used to. And then before I was like, I love fireworks. This is the coolest thing. I don't care. Dog, you calm down. It's fine. This is great. Now it's like, it's 11 o'clock. I'm trying to sleep. Like,
I
come on,
I usually
man.
don't make it to the fireworks. I'm
Yeah.
sleeping.
Oh, yeah. See, fireworks, I think, are mankind's greatest invention.
When you live, that's true. When it's done right. I think I've just lost my passion for fireworks more than anything else.
Because there's something I believe, I firmly believe this, and if I'm wrong, don't correct me, because I need this fantasy.
Here we go.
I think that the firework is like the one invention that was invented purely out of wanting to do something nice. It's like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to do something that's going to get everybody's attention, and when they look at it, it's going to be awesome.
I bet you it was a mistake.
I was thinking like they were
maybe
trying
it
to
was,
blow someone up.
But in my head, that's like, you know what I want? Like, you know, this kind of makes green when we heat it up, and this kind of
I
makes
see
red.
what
So
you're
what
saying.
if we powder it all together and like shoot it up real high, and everybody can see how awesome it is?
That's a
and then
good.
and everybody's like, oh,
Feel
look
good.
at this, like magic.
Feel good right there.
Right? And I
that.
I love fireworks, man. I'll never not want to see fireworks if they're around. They're my favorite thing.
Not funny, Network Ryan. Hey, before we get set to head on out, I was just, and you know what? It sucks now because he'll never believe me when I tell him that I was just about to read those off. He'll never believe me. Today,
me and Cora believe you.
I
thanks,
believe
guys.
you.
That's why I love you guys so much. One Bad Podcast, episode 12, dropping earlier this morning. An absolutely incredible show, and it continues to get better, and it's continuing to grow, and you're going to probably see it in places where you never thought you'd see it, which is a little teaser. And Network, Ryan's favorite show on the network, which probably isn't an advertisement. It's more like, oh, man,
It's
really?
like
You
a
don't want him endorsing you. We're trying to paint you in a bad picture, not them. We
the
all
show
know
is
it's amazing stuff.
the show is fantastic, but the recommendation is a condemnation. Is what we're trying to say.
Viewing Room every Tuesday. That one dropped this week. Very, very exciting. Bamford and Co. podcast. You see the banner down there. Our good friends are now up and running. You can check their new show out. It's absolutely fantastic. As well as we have a stream schedule we are putting together, which means that our Twitch stream will be up and running with a bunch of people on there, beating games, setting records, and most importantly, having a lot of fun.
That's Gary and Brando get good at gaming. The stream. It's going to be fun.
4 months in the making.
Yeah, we've been
We're gonna
working hard
finally
on it,
get
but it's going to be
there.
good. Cora's going to be there. Network Ryan's going to be there. No on the ones and twos. If you've ever
He's
been
going to be the
curious,
face of this stream, I
If-
think.
if-
He's going to be the face of Twitch.
he's going to be the face, even though he's only a hand. It's
That's
going
what
to
I
be
meant.
awesome.
He's going to be the hand, like the hamburger helper hand with the face. Yeah, he does. He's a world record. We have 2 world record holders right now.
In this
on
room.
our Twitch stream.
That's
in
what,
this
Cora,
room,
we're
yeah.
behind. We
I
need to get a
know.
world
I
record.
was here
Get it
last
together,
Friday. Where
guys.
were you?
What? Did they set a world record? Did you set a world record?
Most beer drank in the command zone at a Magic Fest. Remember?
Damn
That's
it.
true. That has been confirmed, by the way, by Guinness. We looked into it. I also want to give a bunch of love to our good friends over at Aquaman Limited. I just noticed annual and quarterly sampling and monitoring of your water, which is very, very cool. But most importantly, and everyone's still, the only thing that people ask them about, are the underwater drone inspections. So that's, we're doing a good job of pushing that one. Go check them out. They will treat you very well. Commander Cookup Podcast, best in the business. Nickel Plumbing and Heating, best in the biz at what they do. SCS, Hammer Time Roofing. This crew continues to grow, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you for allowing us to grow. And do not forget, this is your show. This is your team. You're a part of this family. If you're watching this, that means you're into what we're doing. So let us know, hit us up, and become more involved as we move forward. I'm going to turn this bad boy on that I forgot it was in my ear. It's so crazy. Sound hearing impressions. Our friend Cassandra over there, they do these custom ones. I went from playing with it all the time and it falling out to never. I leave it in too long now.
I always have mine in for the whole show. I had to take it out so I could hear Cora, and I'm like, oh, because the whole time it's been in my ear, it sounds like a goddamn soundtrack from an Atari game.
I
It's the
highly
worst.
recommend getting a custom fit earpiece for sound hearing impressions. Hello, Cassandra and the team. Frankie Fingers? There it is, you
Is it
guys.
happening?
What a week. Okay,
Here?
let's see who was all here. You guys playing us out?
Oh,
Play
yeah.
us out.
I gotta hear it. I need.
We didn't have a show Monday. It was a short week. Wow. So on Tuesday, Uncle Mike and his All Natural Products was here. Poor Matt from all the bands was unfortunately under the weather. He'll be back next week with his brother Merbs on Tuesday. All Out of Angst Podcast, episode 5, dropping yesterday. Be sure to check that out. You can find it anywhere you find your audio podcasts, as that is a lot of fun. Wednesday, we had another check-in with Adrian Balarjan down south in Australia. Our Zoom didn't really work, but he still got his points across, which we care about because that's his time. And I don't want him getting short on his time on this network. So I thank you to him for working with us. As well, we had our good friend Brooksy. I was going to say good brother. was going to call her a good brother. She is a good brother.
She's a good brother.
Our good brother Brooksy, as well as Coach number 2, a.k.a. Coach Mazer, who was in. Thank you to them for stopping by and having a chat. And these two jabronis right here. CCO Podcast's very own Uncle Brando. The Past Our Bedtime Podcast, very own Hardcore. To our producers. Oh, man, the producers were into LB was on a couple of times. He's scuba diving right now. He's also flying planes. He's getting ready to become James Bond.
Who is he?
I thought scuba diving was next week. We were all going to watch Caligula together, and he bailed like a chump.
To him and Dragon, they had a great launch for their show, The Viewing, which is fantastic. Phenom, I love you, buddy. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy that you're just a hand. It's cool to have just a hand in there all the time. So thank you for that. You can cut to us real quick so we can show him. Right here. Check it out. There he is. Isn't that cool?
Love that.
Don't forget, karma is very, 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 very real. Start doing good things. You'll notice they'll start happening to you, and before you know it, you'll end up with a content creation studio just like this. That's how you do it. So start putting other people before yourself. I'm not preaching. I'm just telling you how this place has become what it is, and I'm telling you how you can join the party. Be a good person.
Yep.
Anyone else got anything to add? That's pretty much it.
I think. Oh man, I was about to do it.
It's almost time.
I
We got
was
like 10 seconds.
Well, I was about to do the CCO outro.
Go for it. Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Go.
And we're going to be back next. We're going to be back next Monday for another episode of your show on the Dufferin Ave Media Network. Now hit our thing.